What is going on, everyone? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Monday. This is the second live stream for today. We usually go live about twice a day. So if you guys aren't familiar with who it is that I am or what it is that we do, my name is Ricky. I have a little bit over 174,000 subscribers. Our group, it's a free trading community. We're one of the fastest growing ones out there. We have a little bit over 100,000 members, and it's the third link in the description to join our free Facebook group, which then once you get accepted will allow you access on the top pin post to our free Discord chat. So altogether, hope you guys are all having a beautiful day. We did an amazing job today within our Learn Plan Profit group. So that's the private group that gets to watch me trade live every single day. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, that's going to be the first link in the description. But just wanted to, what's going on, Frankie? So as you guys can see, all these people that are tuning in live right now are both members of Tech Solutions, are either just subscribers or members of Learn Plan Profit. So Acacia, what's going on? Happy to have you here as well. So first time actually making it to your live stream. Super pumped. What's going on, Garrett? Garrett Rhodes, what's up, my man? So happy to have you here. Boise, Idaho, what's going on, David? I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Today was okay, it was not a bad day. A little bit over $400 profit. I'm going to show you guys everything. So let's actually, I'm going to have to turn down my music real quick. Okay, Google, pause. Sorry for all those Google Homes I just turned on right now. So let's keep it pretty simple. Let's make sure that we focus on kind of what I'm keeping my very close eye out for. And then I'm going to go down through my pending reversal watch list. For those that are part of Tech Solutions and for those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, I'm going to be sharing that watch list with you so you guys can do a little bit more of an in-depth breakdown. But I'm going to quickly cover it and kind of skim through it for those that are watching here live on YouTube. So again, I do want to thank you guys again for investing your time, which I definitely do value. I'm going to recap for those that weren't able to tune in for our Sunday stock talk, which was last night. I talked about a total of 6 different stocks that I saw value in. A majority of them ended up performing the way that we expected them to. And I'm just going to recap on them, talk about my success today, what I could have done better, because even if I made money today, so I'm going to show you guys on my, it was FRAC, that call out that I had. So if you guys look at the 1 day, 1 minute chart and the huge push that it had up, people might be looking at, okay, well, I made $442.60. They might be thinking, okay, well, you made money, so you ended up, having a successful day. Yes, but it's not just about having a successful day. It's about understanding, what it is that I could have done better. So I'm going to pause this real quick. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Like, what could I have done better? So for those that joined me for our first live stream, I'm going to talk about it very quickly. Pretty much I saw it push above $14 or at $14 during pre-market hours, and I knew that $14 was a resistance. I didn't lock in profits due to FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, and that's just in case it continued to push up right as the market opened. I should have seen and could have identified easily that once that volume just wasn't there and that demand wasn't there, it had a huge sell-off. And dropped all the way back down to about 1350, where it really found a really solid support. You can see that it pretty much validated that top VWAP indicator, so that's VWAP. I have a video on that on YouTube. So that's this top kind of pinkish reddish line that you see up here, and it kind of played very well. I locked in profits. So I sold my first position at around 1373, ended up pushing up. It was a joke within Tech Solutions and Learn Plan Profit. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but if we go to profits, everyone was like laughing because as soon as I sell, so sold at, okay, 1372, $447.12 profit, and then they're like, now it's going up for sure, and then everyone was laughing because FRAC was actually still taking off. So you can see that it definitely pushed up to about 1380 to about 1385, ended up hitting highs. So I missed out on about 13 cents. Not huge, but when it comes down to the amount of shares that I had about 2,300 shares, or 2,200 if I'm not mistaken. So I missed out on a couple $100. But again, the reason that I sold at the price that I did was because we were approaching a previous resistance. So there was a reason and action behind the reason that I locked in profits. It started to sell off. I called it out again for those that are part of the Learn Plan Profit group. There's this section that we have for those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, and it's called Trade Ideas. And this is where I talk about and follow up with a series of different stocks that I see value in. I started seeing it sell off. I really started to see it consolidate right around 1360, and that's where I took my initial position when it broke again above the middle VWAP. It started to recover, show signs of an uptrend. Got rejected at 1370. I knew I should have covered profits there. I didn't. Again, I was just trying to day trade it and scalp it. I was having a pretty easy morning. I was just hanging out with the guys and just trading and listening to music. It continued to sell off, and then it tried to pop up again, sold off, broke the support at around 1360, caught right back up, again got rejected at 1370, and then sold right back off. So I did enter, and then I re-entered. So my average position as of right now, something that I'll have to follow up with in the morning, is around 1363. So as of right now with my current position, I am down at about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, something like $50 or something like that on my current position, because I was up a little bit over 500 when I ended up covering a majority of my position. Actually, that is, I ended up taking a total of 3 positions today. My first one was, so I did a swing trade from Friday to today, right? I sold my profits there. It sold off. It pushed up. And on the second push up, due to the previous resistance, I sold. I put a limit order to sell my 2,000 shares, but only 1,000 shares got filled. And then it sold off. And then when it started to consolidate and show signs of a reversal right before the market closed, I bought a little bit more. So I bought an additional 1,000 shares. So that was my complete trade today. So I'm in with 2,000 shares at an average price of 1363. Why is it that I'm still invested in FRAC? I see a lot of potential in this overall reversal pattern that it has to offer. I see a lot more margin for profit than margin for loss. That's my point of view. It does not mean that you should invest in this whatsoever. It's still actively trending down. So because of that, I would actually encourage you to not take a position. There's a higher form of risk that you take on by investing in something that's actively trending down below this EMA indicator, and I'm okay with that. So that's why I took the position. So if you're someone that's just getting started and is unfamiliar with how to identify if there's a break-if pattern and a continuous downward pattern, I can't suggest, or I can't just make it clear enough that you should not take a position on something that's actively trending down. Focus on understanding patterns. Focus on understanding when something is a good deal and it's actively trending up. As of right now, I know that this is not the best example, but it would not be the best position to take. I can just tell you guys that, just because it's not actively trending up above the 180-day EMA. And I'm telling you that as someone that's actively invested in this one, that if I was someone that's just getting started, I would wait, I would be patient, and I would wait for the overall reversal and the break above $14 for the candles to start actively trending up above this EMA, and it's showing more signs of recovery. That would be more of a reason to invest in this as a swing trade again. So I hope that you guys can understand where I'm coming from when it comes to that. Exactly. JC, no confirmation equals danger. 100%. All right. Yeah, no, so I do appreciate you guys talking about my setup. When it comes down to my overall, I think you're talking about my setup as in my computers and my monitors and stuff like that. I'll make a video about my setup when I don't have anything to talk about. I wanted to recap very quickly on, first of all, why is it that I still see value in this? So if you look at this 20-day 1-hour chart, or actually no, the 180-day, so it's starting to catch up a little bit more with this 180-day EMA. That's something that I find very attractive, as well as the overall uptrend that it started to show today. It's pretty good indication. It looks like it's making lower highs, so that's something that we can follow up with. And also the MACD indicator is starting to show signs of a buy signal. You never want to rely solely on one indicator, but it's giving me a little bit more of a confirmation that it might be a better time to buy and stuff like that. So something that we'll have to follow up with. I have all my alerts set up, so that's good there. I want to give a shout out to all those that were able to take out or take a position on JNUG, and first of all actually saw value in JNUG. We talked about this pattern in our Sunday Stock Talk. I talked about exactly what I was waiting for as a confirmation to potentially see value in JNUG. The only reason that I didn't invest in this one was because I had an active position on FRAC, which is the position that I just showed you. So on this 1-day 5-minute chart, you can see that I was doing a very good job trying to consolidate between the middle and top VWAP, ended up breaking above. So what is it that we were waiting for? For it to break above the middle VWAP and to trade above $14. And that's exactly what happened today. If you look at the overall future for forward/GC, you can see that it's showing signs of a potential uptrend pattern during aftermarket hours. Definitely probably not the case. It's pulling back a little bit, which consolidating. So something that we'll have to follow up with. But the reason that I found this JNUG and NUGT, which are both the kind of bull ETFs for gold, if you look at forward/GC, which has a correlation to the overall, this might be confusing for those that are just getting started, but for those that are a part of LPP, I have an ETF section that explains exactly how I use futures to trade ETFs. And you can see that there's a lot of consolidation happening at this SMA indicator, and it's starting to show signs for a potential break of pattern and for this thing to continue to trend up. So as of right now, there is no confirmation. It's just something that we'll have to follow up with. So what I think is going to happen is if forward/GC breaks above that SMA indicator, I think that this resistance at 1440 will no longer be relevant, and it's going to push above this SMA as well and then continue to uptrend just like it's done before. So it's going to kind of be like this, where it consolidates, this SMA acts as a resistance, and then it breaks above it and continues to uptrend. So I think that would be a very similar pattern that I can see JNUG experience if forward/GC breaks above that SMA indicator on that 180-day 4-hour chart. So again, confirmation is key, and we just have to be patient and wait for it. So another one that I want to talk about, that I want to follow up with today, is DRIP. DRIP has continued to sell off. That is why we've talked about this one to be more of a day trade rather than a swing trade. No confirmation of a reversal just yet. It's just getting closer to that 13. We talked about the support at around 630 to 640. It's still sitting right around that price point. So if you look at this 20-day 1-hour chart, it's again right at this price point, kind of where we want it, at around that 640 area. Pretty much right now we're waiting for signs of an uptrend. So we can set the alerts. I have a series of alerts set up for it. So we can set a little bit more alerts, and I'm also going to set an alert if it continues to make lower lows, then this probably isn't going to be something that I want to invest in, even as a day trade. But it's definitely on the oversold side. So now what would I like for this thing to do? As of today, how do we know when it was actively trending down? It continued to trend and trade below the middle VWAP, right, the purple line, and the bottom VWAP, showing signs of a downward pattern. How do we know when something is actively trending up, right? Well, if we look at the 5-day 1-minute chart, when something was actively trending up, such as DRIP, so again, looking at previous patterns, what was it doing that it's not doing now? It was trading in between the middle and top VWAP, showing signs of an uptrend pattern. So let's just wait for that. Let's wait for the confirmation. Let's wait for that verification of a pattern, and let's wait for that ongoing uptrend. And it's with that simple understanding that I think that we can definitely do very well with DRIP. If it ends up giving us that confirmation from 660 to about 720, it offers almost 10% potential profit. And that's being pretty conservative. That's not taking a position right now, but actually waiting for the confirmation above 660. Just make sure that you understand the pattern, that you have a stop loss in mind that will consider the idea of a break of pattern. And if this is still a little bit too confusing for you, please still focus on simulation trading and paper trading, which is with fake money, and just don't force any of your trades. Easiest way that I can put it is with time, and as you continue to give it more time to do this, it will make more sense to you. So real quick now for LABD, I want to congratulate all those that were able to take a position on this one. We talked about LABD, LABU yesterday, and talked about, okay, well, maybe we need LABD to break above the EMA indicator, and that's exactly what it did today. Started to show signs of an uptrend. It's still showing a very aggressive descending pattern long term, right? It continues to make lower lows. So I still talked about LABD, although it was actively trending up intraday, and although it does have potential to recover to about maybe $30 around 28, it's still showing signs of a descending pattern long term. So understanding the overall direction of this ETF, I would still focus on this as a day trade. And that's just taking an extra precaution. Again, that's me being extremely conservative, trying to make sure that you guys don't take any losses or risk continuing to bag hold something. So just know that the overall direction of LABD is down. And if you see that it continues to make lower lows and it breaks below that EMA indicator on the 180-day 4-hour chart, I would personally cut losses. I would personally step away from that, and because the pattern would no longer be relevant. And then very quickly, I want to congratulate all those that were able to take a position on UGAS. This is also another one that we talked about in our Sunday Stock Talk. I talked about it because, again, you guys can identify this horizontal pattern. It's something that I like to trade very often. So from $62 support to $68 resistance, we can get a little bit closer on this 20-day 1 hour. You can definitely see, again, I'm all about trying to identify a pattern and when is it a good deal to buy. So knowing that it's bounced here multiple times and it's peaked out here multiple times, it makes sense on why it was a good potential buy on Friday, right around $62, which is something that we talked about. And today it pushed up. And although it did pull back quite a bit, the overall direction of the EMA line is still pointing up. So it's still showing an ongoing uptrend pattern. Do I think it's the best deal? No. I do think that DYAS, which is the inverse ETF, is showing potential for potential reversal, just like it's done multiple times before, right? It's getting closer to that $22 support. I do want you guys to know the overall direction. Again, understanding big picture and not just what's going on right now. A lot of mistakes that, or a very common mistake that I've made multiple times when I just got started, and even now, right, is because I see DYAS is so oversold and I get the fear of missing out on a good entry, I take a position right now. But because I take that position too early, it runs the risk, because it's still actively trending down, that this thing can continue to sell off. And it can continue to even break below $22, and that's going to be one of the worst feelings. So I can reassure you that it would be a much smarter approach, much more conservative approach, to wait for it to even continue to sell off, or to give you that confirmation that the overall bodies of the candle are actively trending up above the 180-day EMA. Because as of right now, the overall direction of UYAS is still pointing up. So I just want you guys to know that I do see value in DYAS for a potential reversal, but as of right now, the same thing with /NG. The overall direction of /NG, which is a natural gas future, is still pointing up, showing signs of it being, showing signs of an uptrend pattern. Does it show signs of it being a good deal? No, so it makes sense on why it might sell off, but it doesn't mean that it's going to right now. And that's why it's so important. That's what I'm trying to focus on. Why confirmation and entry points are so important, and to not just get in when you think it's a good deal, but actually waiting for the confirmation. And again, one of the best positions that you can take is not taking one at all. So just take that into consideration before entering your next position. Ask yourself, do you understand that it's a good deal? And have you waited for the overall confirmation of an uptrend pattern? And if you have, great. If you haven't, might be something that you might want to look into. And then just because I told you guys I would, I'm going to let you guys skim it very quickly. So I'm going to go down the list. This is ticker symbol. So I'm going to go on the 180-day chart. This is my pending reversal watch list. These are not stocks that are actively trending up. Not all of them, but are ones that are showing signs of a potential reversal pattern within the next couple of days or weeks. So this is VALE, HTZ, DYAS, obviously we talked about it today, CPE, ENPH, CAR, BIDU. What the heck? This one's already showing signs of an ongoing uptrend. I don't know why that was there. I actually just updated these. I do apologize for missing that one. WTI showing a really nice bounce. That's actually one that I want to keep a very close eye out on. UWT, set my alerts for the break above 32, I think 32.30 on that one. HRTX showing signs of a potential bounce right near that SMA indicator, so showing signs of a good buy range. FANG showing signs of a potential reversal coming up soon. CCE showing a lot of consolidations and making higher highs and lower highs as well. MB showing a lot of consolidation, waiting for the break above $40. JDST obviously showing signs of it being a little bit more on the oversold side. JDST is the inverse of JNUG, which is the one that's actively pushing up right now. But JNUG right now is showing signs of it being a little bit more bullish. So let's make sure you take that into consideration. BRS had a huge sell-off due to earnings, which means that it does have potential for an overall recovery. I have my alert set for the break above, if I'm not mistaken, around $13.50 to about $14. As you can see, my little arrows on the right-hand side. And then this is ticker symbol FOE, showing signs of an overall, potential reversal, showing signs of an uptrend. What I would wait for is a little bit more for a pullback and let it consolidate right around that EMA line. As of right now, DSLV still showing signs of a sell-off. This is something that I wanted to cover today. Actually, USLV was the one that I had, USLV and DSLV. USLV made higher highs today, definitely showing signs of it being on the overbought side. So that is why I think it's so important to potentially keep DSLV. I know it's actively trending down, right? But it would make sense at around this price point based on previous patterns on why it might reverse soon. It doesn't mean that it has to. It just means that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to set your alerts for the potential reversal. And that's what I have set right here. And then DIN showing signs of a reversal. RRGB, this is Red Robin Burgers. They have good burgers. And then Oil U showing signs of a potential reversal. But that is it. And then for those that weren't able to tune in for the first part of the what's it called, live stream. My profits today were $442.60. Definitely not the best day, but still on track to hit my weekly goal of the $2,500 profit. So, all right. And that's it. Are those penny stocks? These are not penny stocks. So I don't actively invest in penny stocks, especially because of my overall account size. Especially if you're someone that's just getting started, I would encourage you to, I don't want to encourage anyone to not invest in a market that they see value in. I would just encourage you to learn a little bit more about the risk that comes by investing in penny stocks, and mainly like lower cap, like kind of like OTC stocks. Doesn't mean that they're not profitable. It just means that they're a little bit riskier. But if you tend to resonate well with that market, great. I wish you the best of luck. But based on our overall success rate for people who invest in more, uptrend and ascending uptrend patterns, more reputable companies, like mid to high cap stocks, we tend to experience a little bit of a higher success rate, and it's a lot. It's just we're focusing on investing in much more reputable companies and patterns as well that are not as easily manipulated, which you tend to experience with lower cap penny stocks and OTC stocks. So. Acacia, I saw that. So I saw Acacia, if I'm not mistaken, you tagged me on your Instagram post that you went to go visit Cane's in Ohio. So it was so good. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, that's why I go all the time. I probably have actually no, we threw away our trash today. But I probably had a Cane's container from, we actually ate it last night and I wasn't supposed to. Yeah, let's make another green day tomorrow. Yeah, and for all those, I'm actually going to be following up. What's going on, VJ? So actually, I wanted to make a video kind of following up, maybe this upcoming week. I'm going to be making a video talking about how to, I feel like a lot of people have this ideal or goal in mind of being able to make six figures, and how amazing would that be to be able to make six figures when it comes down to investing in the stock market. So I'm going to set up a plan, kind of like the $1,000 to $20,000 Excel sheet. I'm going to be talking about how I was able to grow my account. So for those that have been following me from the beginning of this year, my Fidelity account has always been over usually over 25,000. It now sits a little bit over 35,000. But my TD Ameritrade account, when I first started it, because people wanted to actually see me trade live, especially those that are part of the Learn Plan Profit group, they always ask me to, like, hey, can we watch you trade live? I funded my TD Ameritrade account $5,000, and within 3.5 months or 3 months and 10 days, I was able to grow it from 5,000 to 25,000 within 3 months and 5 days. And I showed the whole thing on YouTube. So for all those that want to check it out. And then because of that, I was able to overcome the PDT rule. And even though I don't focus on day trades too much, now, again, to stay on track, my goal is to make anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 on a weekly basis, which would put me at around $120,000 to $150,000 a year, solely by investing in the stock market. And for those that know about my trading style, I honestly only invest about maybe 1 to 2 hours of me actually trading behind my computer screen. The reason that I'm behind my computer screen and talking about trades so much, that has to do more part of my mentorship part of the TechBet Solutions and Learn Plan Profit, and working with those individuals more on a closer basis, just because I have to respond to about 500 to about 1,000 messages every single day with my partner Justin to catch up on, just because we don't have a customer support team, right? It's me responding to my direct messages, and it's him responding to his direct messages, and that's pretty much what we do all day. So that's really just it. And I just want to let you guys know that I will be coming up with that video, kind of a little bit more of a structure. So for those that maybe have access to about $5,000, or that even wants to work towards making potentially $100,000, again, first focusing on paper trading, and then how you can make a fluid transition to real trading with a real account, and then from a real account from 5,000 to 25,000, how it is that I did it in the structure, and then from 25,000 to 100,000, and the goal is that you should have in mind. So that's really just it. So great breakdown, straight to the point. What's going on, Jack? Thank you again. I really do appreciate that. But I want to thank you guys again for all your time and what it is that the time that you've invested in this video. If you guys enjoyed it, and I know it's asking a huge favor, but for those that enjoyed it, if you guys can give the video a thumbs up, it lets me know that you guys like these a little bit more in-depth breakdowns. And if you guys do, I would love to continue making these videos. And also, if you have any suggestions on videos that you guys would like me to make, please feel free to put them down in the comment section. I do read them, even though if I might not respond, I do read almost every single comment as long as they don't have any foul languages or foul words, as those get filtered automatically. But yeah, that's really just it. I want to thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. And if you guys, again, want to join our free trading community of TechBud Solutions, it's our free group. We have over 100,000 members. It's the third link in the description. And for those that want to work with me on a daily basis, the ability to actually kind of like just imagine this live stream and how I'm breaking things down. But now imagine me trading live, right? And then for you to be able to watch me trade live and ask me questions, and then I can do live breakdowns. That's kind of what that is exactly what the Learn Plan Profit group is. You get to watch me trade live every single day. You gain access to our private group chat, and then you gain access for a lifetime to the Learn Plan Profit lesson library. And that's that first link in the description for all those that are interested. So, and then for all those that are interested in buying and reselling cars, we've been doing such an amazing job with the Flipping Rules mentorship. I would just kind of keep an eye out for a potential session 2 mentorship that's going to be coming out. And yeah, so for all those that are interested more in learning more about the buying and reselling of cars, that's definitely going to be a potential market that some of you guys might want to get interested in, especially since we're going to be having more time for this summer. So yeah, that is really just it. Guys, if you guys can give the video a thumbs up, again, that would mean a lot. Real estate, no, it's not going to be real estate. It's the buying and reselling of cars. So I'm actually going to be selling one of my GTRs within the next couple of weeks. I actually have a buyer. I'm going to be making a video on that. So yeah, so thank you guys again. Hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your Monday. Let's keep it consistent. Let's focus on that quality, and let's aim to end the week on a green note. Like always, guys, continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.